Spoilers for the entire Yakuza series, including Judgment, Lost Judgment, and possible spoilers for Gaiden and Infinite Wealth, only from what has been officially revealed. Yakuza likes to spoil itself. I don't know why, but it does. The Like a Dragon series has a major tendency to reveal information that honestly in most other series would be considered spoilers before you even have a chance to play the game. Sometimes it's through a trailer, the game's opening video, or even a magazine article. No matter how it's presented, it's frustrating. Some may say they can't be spoilers if it's officially revealed by the studio, but I strongly disagree. A lot of these reveals are much better kept under wraps as surprises to happen in the game, and even out of context scenes still make the game less impactful. Obviously they need to show footage of the games they are trying to promote and sell you on, but sometimes they tend to go overboard. I figured today I'd go through some recent and not so recent examples of this, give my opinion on them, and maybe together we can get RGG to stop spoiling their own games. Who am I kidding? That ain't gonna happen. Let's start with a recent example. Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. This game comes out in a matter of weeks. Now, a couple months back we had the overview trailer released for this game. It of course goes over gameplay elements that will be featured, which isn't a big deal, but it also has a whole story section of the trailer that definitely teeters the edge of spoiler territory. Scenes like the shirtless squad, Kiryu's departure, and especially his emotional breakdown, while they aren't inherently spoilers, I would have much rather seen in-game first. But the next piece? Why would you reveal this? This would have been an insane surprise, and you just tweet it out? If I came across Kaito in the game and had no idea he was present, I would have lost my shit. I really don't understand the reasoning behind this, especially since this is the first major crossover between Judgment and the main series that has happened. Oh well. Let's turn the clock back a bit. Yakuza 5, the biggest game in the series, or at least it sure was at release. The problem here is the opening of the game, the intro movie. These always have some epic music and scenes cut in from the game, but I never watched them, at least not on my first playthrough, and I'll give you an example here as to why. First, I don't like these in general as I wish to go into the games as blind as possible, and while these scenes are all out of context, I feel like it still lessens their impact. The major factor here though is the spoiler in this opening. One of the main plot points of Yakuza 5 is that for a majority of the game, it's presumed that Majima is dead. This opening cutscene contradicts that. We see Majima multiple times in cutscenes that are not shown before we find out about his supposed death in-game. He clearly makes it out okay, and even if we all assumed he was alive already, it's stupid to show this as these scenes are very late into the game. Plenty of games have examples, but this is one of the most egregious. How about the Judgment games? They aren't safe either. The intro cinematics for these games actually aren't bad at all. They mostly just showcase some of the main characters, and rather than using spliced in cutscenes, they make a brand new opening from scratch. The problem is trailers. Honestly, the bulk of them are fine, but let's take this story trailer for Lost Judgment. It seems okay for the most part, but we get this part of the main crew breaking down after what we can only assume is them finding a dead body. And by the way they react, it must be someone they all knew. That might not seem too bad as it doesn't reveal who died, but at the end of the trailer we get a clip of Yagami saying she can't say her piece without a voice, and how someone can look past the sacrifice. Putting two and two together, the person who died must be female, and once you play the game, if you've seen this trailer, it becomes obvious that the only outcome this can be is Sawa. Overall, the Judgment games have been the least offensive so far. Yakuza Like a Dragon. This one is a major problem for me. Let's start with the box art for the game. The Western box art is fine, but let's take a look at the Japanese box art. It might seem fine at first, although I think how serious it looks is a little off, but look at the top. We have three characters present, Nanba, Arakawa, and Sawashiro. The reason they're all at the top is they're all modeled after their voice actors, and Yakuza games in Japan like to put their recognizable actors near the top or big on the box art. Early enough within the game you get an idea for the role each of these characters play. Sawashiro is a rival and an antagonist, Arakawa seems to be good at first but then shoots Ichi early on, and Nanba helps patch up Ichi after getting shot and joins his party. Two of the three main characters can be seen as antagonists early on in the game, and it makes you think, maybe Nanba is too. While technically Nanba and Arakawa aren't really antagonists, Nanba does eventually leave and betray the party for a while during the game. I think the alignment of them on the box is stupid, even if it is for a different reason. Like a Dragon was seen as and supposed to be a reboot. Going into the game is expected to be a fresh slate of faces and locations, and for the most part the game is. But then why do multiple trailers spoil the surprises that yes, some of your favorite characters from previous entries do in fact make a cameo in this game? This Heroes of Tomorrow trailer launched almost 4 months before the Western release of the game, and guess what? It shows Majima, Saejima, Daigo, Watase all present. This makes no sense. When I played the game blind, this was such an awesome surprise. These trailers that launch months before the game ruin it. The launch trailer also shows the other party members that for a good portion of the game are seen as antagonists. Hell, in Japan there was a trailer that revealed Kiryu was not only in the game, but that there would be a fight with him. Why? Let's end this discussion with the latest title, Infinite Wealth. If you've seen the story trailer, then you probably already know what I'm going to mention. Not only is it a spoiler for Infinite Wealth, but it could also be one for Gaiden as well. Kiryu has cancer. I don't think anyone saw this coming. I'm pretty sure we all just assumed his gray hair was a disguise or something. It's not nearly the worst spoiler they have done. I still think the ones from 7 were worse, but this would have been such an emotional shock revealed during the game. There are plenty of other things too, such as party members, villains, and returning characters, but that's honestly all I want to mention for this one. With all those examples and everything I've said, I'm sure you can understand why when I say I'm not going to be watching any more trailers for Gaiden or Infinite Wealth. And I think beyond the reveal trailers for future RGG games, I'll skip out on further trailers too. I love these games a lot, and I really don't want to have my experience soured by these reveals that would have been amazing in-game. So many moments in these games have been great surprises, and I want to keep having those in the future. RGG and Sega, if you see this video, maybe you could consider toning down the reveals in future trailers? Thanks for watching, everyone.